Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video presentation. In this video tutorial we want to discuss about unitary method. Now the term unitary means that you are talking a value of a single item or of a single quantity. That is, you are trying to find a value or amount of a given single quantity or a single item. So if you are thinking that why is it important, then let me explain you. Let's discuss that using some real world example. In this example, we have these are 10 red balls, or simply call them balls. These are total 10 balls, and the total cost of these 10 balls is rupees 200. Now, suppose if I ask you that if the total cost of these 10 balls is rupees 200, then what will be the total cost of these 5 balls? Provided that these all are the similar balls, same size, same cost and everything. So you'll instantly say that without even, thinking much, you'll simply say that, hey, since these are 10 balls and the cost is 200. These are 5 balls, half of it. Therefore, the cost of these 5 balls will be half of 200. That is rupees 100. And that's correct. But suppose someone asks you that if the total cost of these 10 balls is rupees 200, then what will be the total cost of 7 such balls, or 5 or 6 such balls, or 3 such balls, or even 2 such balls, or 23 such balls? What will be the cost? Then at that time you'll get a little bit you'll think that how to find that, and the way to find the answer of such questions will be that you first find out, by this given information, you first find out price or cost of one single ball. If you find the cost of one single ball, then if you find the cost of this one single ball, then you can simply tell what will be the cost of 7 balls. You'll simply multiply that cost or price with this 7 number, because if one ball costs this much, then 7 balls will cost, you'll have to just multiply that number. Similarly for 6, 3, 2 and 23. Now the question is that how to find a cost or the value of a given single quantity or single item. There comes this role, the role of this unitary method, and let me explain you how you have to do this. We'll take this example only, okay? So if 5 balls were there and the total cost is rupees 100, what we just discussed here. So suppose I say that if I have to find the cost of one ball, then I'll straight say that what you have to do is the total cost of 5 balls divided by total number of balls, that is 100 divided by 5, that will give you 20. Okay, so those of you who are in 6th standard, some of you may scratch their head thinking that, well, how we came to this conclusion, how we are using this formula or method, not formula, this method to find the cost of one ball. So let me explain, break down this whole process in a very simple way. So if I have to find the price of one ball, so suppose that, let me use this. If this is, say, price of one ball. Okay, then another price of second ball, price of third ball, price of fourth ball, price of fifth ball. That is, this is representing, suppose this, I'm explaining you in a very simple way. One ball, right? So one ball, second ball, third ball, fourth ball, and fifth ball, right? Then if we assume that, let's suppose that the price of one ball is, let's say anything, let it be X only, okay? So if this is X, this one will also be X, this one also be X, the fourth ball will also be X, and the fifth ball will also be X. So the price of first ball, it is X, second ball X, so X plus X plus X plus X plus X. What is this total amount? That is, if we add these costs of these 5 balls, you will see that, hey, that is actually 100, because this information has been given to us. This is actually 100. So what does that mean? It means that this cost of 100, that is the total cost of these 5 balls, has been actually divided into 5 equal parts. Okay, imagine, just assume that this 100 has been divided into 5 equal parts, where each part is actually what? The price of one ball. So this was for the first ball, this for second ball, for the third, for the fourth, and the fifth ball. So the total cost is what? 100. The 100 has been divided into 5 equal parts. So if I have to divide 100 into 5 equal parts, that will be 100 divided by 5, because I have to divide 100 into 5 equal parts. And when you divide this, you'll get 20. And that is what this X is. Right? Because if I divide 100 into 5 equal parts, then each part will represent the cost of one ball. And that's what we did here. So if now I know the value of X, that is the cost of one ball. Cost of one ball. Right? This is what unitary method is. This is what unitary method is. That first find out the value of one given quantity or one item. So I just explained you that how we reached to this method of finding the price of one ball. You have to think that we have divided this total cost into 5 equal parts. And if I have to divide this 100 into 5 equal parts, I'll get 20. So what we have discussed here, on the basis of this, if I have to find the price of one ball when we have these, just forget this now. Forget this, because we have to find for this information. If we have total 10 balls and the total cost is rupees 200, then if I have to find the cost of one ball, then that will be equal to total cost and divided by total number of balls, right? So if this is total cost is 200, then the total number of balls is rupees 10, and that will give you rupees 20. Therefore, the cost of one ball is rupees 20. If the cost of one ball is 20, rupees 20, then what will be the cost of 7 balls? So simply that will be rupees 20 times 7, that is rupees 140. What will be the cost for 23 balls? That's simple, rupees 20 times 23, and that will be rupees 460. So this is the way to use unitary method to first find out the value for a given quantity or for a single item, then you can find out the value for the asked number of items or quantities. Let's take another real world example. Suppose this is a bus which travels 800 kilometers and using 40 liters of petrol or diesel or any fuel. Let's think of it as a fuel. So if it travels 800 kilometers in 40 liter, then if someone asks you that what distance it will travel in 15 liter or any number, it can be 25, 15, it can be 100 liter also. So if you know that in 40 liter it travels 800 kilometer, and if I have to find for 15 liter, if I first try to find out that what distance it will travel in 1 liter, that is use of unitary method. So if it travels 800 kilometer in 40 liter, and if I say that in 1 liter it will travel the total distance traveled divided by this 40 liter, okay, divided by total fuel consumed, that will be equal to 800 divided by 40, and this will give you 20 kilometer. That is, in 1 liter it will travel 20 kilometer. Now if you are again scratching your head that why did we use it actually, so same thing what we did here, I'm going to explain you with the same logic here also. So suppose that if I say that, let's take that this is, this represents a distance traveled in using 1 liter. So if in 1 liter, let's say that it travels d kilometer. Let's suppose we don't know what the value of d is, because now that's what we have to find for in 1 liter. If I say that in 1 liter it travels d kilometer, and in another 1 liter it will travel another 1 d kilometers, right? And in another 1 liter it will travel another d kilometer. In another 1 liter it will travel another d kilometer. So this is for first liter, the second liter, for the third liter, for the fourth liter, right? And in this way it continues, and finally you will get this last 1 liter, and that is again a d kilometer, and this will be the 40th liter of petrol. Right? Now, each single part represents a d kilometer. What is d kilometer? Distance traveled in 1 liter. So in the first liter you will travel d kilometer. In the second liter you will travel d kilometer. Again a d kilometer. In the third liter also you will again travel a d kilometer. So all these 1d, second d, third d, if you add all these d's, that gives you the total distance traveled actually. And what's the total distance traveled? You will simply say that, hey, that's actually 800 kilometer. It's 800 kilometer, right? What does that mean? It means that this 800, this total distance of 800 that you have traveled using these 40 liter of petrol, where this each single part represents d kilometer. That is the distance traveled by using 1 liter. So we have actually divided this 800 kilometers in 40 equal parts, right? One part, second part, third part, fourth part, where each part represents the distance traveled by 1 liter. Therefore, if I have to divide this 800 into 40 equal parts, then that will be this one. We have to represent using this one because I am dividing 800 into 40 equal parts, and this will give you 20 kilometer, and that represents this d, because each part is representing d kilometer, where each part is the distance traveled, that is d kilometer, by using 1 liter. And therefore we have calculated this, that if we divide this 800 into 40 equal parts, then that will give us actually what? This 20 kilometer, right? That means that if we have to divide this into 40 equal parts, then each part will be of 20 kilometer. Okay, so what we have done here is same thing that I have shown you here. Okay, so if in 1 liter we use 20 kilometer, then what will be the distance traveled using 15 liters of petrol? So if in 1 liter you are traveling 20 kilometer, then in 15 liter you will travel 20 times 15 kilometer, and that will be equal to 300 kilometer. So this again, we have used unitary method, where we first find out what will be the distance traveled by 1 liter in using 1 liter of any fuel. Then using that data or value, we can calculate for 15, we can calculate for 100, we can calculate for any given of amount. So this is the introduction about unitary method. In next videos we are going to take some word problems related to unitary method. Thanks for watching.